Hey everybody, it's Ben here, and right now I just want to show you a little bit about a proof of concept for adding a remote control to electric car charging. So what I have here is a duocita EVSE. This is kind of a basic one. It's 16 amps. It's very inexpensive, but what's nice is it can run on 120 or 240 volts. And that's kind of cool because I've just got some basic 120 volt equipment here. I'm using the Samsung SmartThings system for a little basic home automation. I just have 2 lights in my house, but I can control them remotely with my smartphone. I can also program them to turn on and off at a certain time of day, or like my front porch lights turns on automatically at sunset, for example. So there's some neat automation you can do with these home automation systems. And I was using Leviton parts. I had a couple of switches, and I still had this one. Now this one happened to be a dimmer switch, and you do have to be a little careful with dimmers because when you're running all the power through there, they're always trying to dissipate a little power, so you got to be a little careful about them getting hot. The other thing I did is I'm running this all through a kilowatt so that I can see how much power we're using. So basically what I did is I just ran power to this remote controlled dimmer switch and out to a quad electric box. And then what I've also done is on the output of the quad electric box, I put on a glitter lamp because that's the lamp that I had handy. And I've also plugged the duocita EVSE into it with a little pigtail that lets you plug into a 120 volt outlet. So since it's a switch, I can turn it on here, and I'm just using the lamp here as a visual indicator. So if I press the switch, everything should turn on. And sure enough, I see that the light there turns on, and a moment later, I see power connected and charging on the EVSE. I've already got my car plugged into the other end of this. Okay, so if I want to turn it off, I can press the switch again. See the lamp turn off. We see the EVSE turns off. So great, now I have a switched outlet. That's not exactly that exciting, except that I can also do that remotely from my phone. So I'm calling this portable dimmer, and if I press the button and give it a moment for the RF to go through, light turns on and the car starts charging. So now I can turn my electric car charging on and off from my phone. But I could also do that with programming, some variables, some things like that. So maybe like every night after 10 p.m., after we're past peak electrical usage, turn the car on and start charging. But late at night when coal-burning power plants are idling, kind of a cool thing. So let's just come in quick, close, so I can show you how some of this works, and then also look at the display in the car as well. So this is the Leviton dimmer switch. It's just press to turn on, press to turn off. So I've got the kilowatt set to reading watts, and we're at a little over 1400 watts. So on 120 volt, I'm pulling 1400 watts, charging the car, and that's basically at a little bit less than 15 amps. So I can run this on a 15 amp circuit, although the regular electric outlets in my garage are all on 20 amp circuits. On my smartphone, we can see my porch light, my kitchen sink light, and right now the portable dimmer. So I'll turn that on. Light comes on, and the EVSE comes on. So now we're charging. So what I can do then is I can just, when I come home, plug in my EVSE, but not have the car charge right away. I can have it charge later during the night and have it done automatically. So my car here has a pretty simple dashboard. We're plugged into the EVSE right now. I'll turn on the portable dimmer. Give it a second for the EVSE to turn on. And then we can see our charge port indicator comes on, as indicated by a little red light there. I also hear some of the fans and things associated with charging. So we're charging now, but if I decided to turn it off, turn portable dimmer off, cuts out, I do get a little bit of a warning. The plug flashes sort of as an indicator of, hey, you were charging, but you just got unplugged. So yeah, this is kind of cobbled together. Of course, I'd have all this wired up properly in boxes, everything like that. But I don't even want to do this at 120 volts. I really want all my electric car charging running at 240 volts. Now, this switch here is only designed for 120 volts, and especially since it's a dimmer, I wouldn't want all the power running right through there. But what I could do is use a 120 volt remotely controlled switch to activate a contactor, which would complete 240 volts. So for example, I could have a project box, and inside that project box, I could have a nice big 240 volt electric outlet built in as part of that, have the switch on the outside of the box, have the contactor inside, so that way I could turn on and off that contactor at the switch remotely with my phone, or programmed on a timer or some sort of a variable, which I think really should work out pretty darn good. So I'll have to order in some parts to be able to do that, but the proof of concept seemed to work really well. I'm going to get a different switch, of course. Dimmer's not really the right thing for this. I'll be getting a remote controlled, just on-off switch for working with that contactor. But as just like a little test here in my garage, it actually worked pretty good. So I'll get those parts, I'll put them together in a project box, and I'll make a remote controlled home automation system based electric car charging. I'm pretty excited about that. So until next time, stay charged up.